Yo, what up? Back with another one. Willpower. Yeah. So, what's going on now? What are we talking about now? So this time around, the sound is going to be a little better. The voice is going to be a little better. Maybe a little bit of editing. So we're stepping our game up with each video. Thank you for being here. This is Willpower. The website is willpowerstudios.com. I'm an artist, performer, spiritual, creative technologist, and I'm sharing my ideas, my visions, and I'm sharing what I understand of what I see happening in the world, because I'm concerned with what's going on, and I have love for Mother Nature. I have love for all of us as a humanity, as a human family, and so I share out of this love. So let's have fun. Let's get into it. So what am I talking about today? Well, in the first video, I talked about transhumanism. What is transhumanism? The second video, CBDCs. What are those? Central bank digital currencies. What are those about? So you can go check out those two videos. And so today, what am I talking about now? Today we're diving into digital IDs. What are digital IDs? Well, just like the sound, right? It's a way to identify a person digitally instead of, well, with a card, driver's license, passport, and other types of cards that are in the physical world. Digital means now, it's in the computer world, it's in the mobile tech world. It seems that some people want humans to have digital IDs on Earth to be identified. Who you are or how you're represented by the state, which is usually with a name, with a photo, the details of your physical body, your height, etc., but all in a centralized database. So instead of being identified with physical papers, now maybe they just scan a QR code that's connected to your digital ID that has all your information in real time. So let's say you want to go buy some food. Oh, but your digital ID is not connected to your CBDC. So guess what? If for some reason you didn't pay a fine, or maybe you said something on social media that the controllers don't want you to say or share because it looks like they don't want people to speak anymore or to think freely anymore. Well, maybe because of that, as soon as the QR code is scanned or your digital ID is scanned, you can't make a purchase because maybe you're losing a point, right? Like in China, the social credit score. So I think the reason for digital IDs are absolute control, like a dystopian control. And of course, the reasons will be, well, it's better for security, which it should be technically much better for security, but should security be a priority over our freedom? Or should we be complete, total kind of animals in a zoo called the smart city, where we're monitored, surveilled, tracked, and everything connects back to the digital ID in real time via, let's say, AI software, right? And is that something you want to do as a human being? Do you want to be developing technology that will enslave humans in a digital control grid? So that's a question you may want to ask yourself as you're looking for jobs out there in the AI field. What are you actually developing? How will it affect you, humanity? And who are you actually working for? Who's funding it? Who are the investors? Look into those things. And when you go into a job interview, ask questions as well. And but it's nice when you do a job, when you do work that's aligned with your values, with how you want to see the world evolve in the direction that you feel is positive, exciting, fun, balanced, and that feels good inside of your heart. So another thing about digital IDs is that it will also be easy to link every aspect of everyone's life, including the big tech social media kind of, I call it tyrannical technocracy because of the censorship, the ridiculous censorship, and many people seeing how ridiculous that is. So other things connected to digital ID looks like they're really taking this carbon thing to an extreme level of idiocy. And why am I saying this? Because carbon is not bad. Without carbon, plants can't breathe. If there's not carbon, there's no plants. If there are no plants, there's no oxygen and there's no humans. And this is looking at it from a very basic level. Are we heading in the right direction? Are these solutions that are being implemented and that are being planned really the solutions that we should all embrace to the detriment to our freedom? Should we lose our freedom and become robotic slaves in a smart city? You tell me. These are the real questions that we should be asking ourselves. So of course, this carbon footprint kind of idea is something they're going to want to try to link and connect to the digital ID, to the CBDCs in terms of purchases. So it's going to become extremely restrictive if these things follow through. Now, they're not implemented yet, and maybe they won't be implemented if enough people say, no, actually we don't want that. We want something better. And this is not a solution that is actually helping us. It's hindering, hurting, and is it really changing anything? And so, of course, narratives and stories are told by certain people in a certain way, but is that the actual truth? And many will believe that it is, but is it? And so keep digging, keep searching. Now, when big things like a digital ID or CBDC or transhumanism, when for these things to be implemented, you need like a big event because you need to give people a reason why to use them. So you need to have a problem to offer the solution. And what I'm seeing right now is the breakdown of the supply chain, and we can see that with farmers in the Netherlands. You can see that with different huge factories or parts of the supply chains that are being burnt down to the ground. The supply chain, from what I see, is under attack, and as well as the value of fiat currencies. And so I think that by destroying the supply chain, by devaluing the fiat currencies and everything crashing down, it's a smart strategy, because then if money is worthless, if people are really struggling a lot more than now, people will be like, hey, what's going on? And they will go and run to their, to their governments and be like, please help me, what do we do now? And the governments will be like, well, we got CBDCs, we got a digital ID, and this is what you're gonna do from now on. That's how they're probably gonna introduce digital ID, CBDC, transhumanism. Anything they want to introduce is going to be through some type of traumatic event, and then people will be like, what do we do now? And be like, boom, there it is, there's your solution. So just pay attention and see what's going on. I'm curious to see if that's actually what happens. I'm just kind of connecting dots and seeing if they actually connect. So yeah, let's see what happens. So ask yourself, do you think a digital ID is good for you? Do you think it's good for humanity? Do you think it benefits us, especially when digital information can be used, can be manipulated, it can be easily, people can easily become prey of really dystopian, tyrannical, authoritarian rules and laws that are subject to change. And once everyone is digitized, then it's like we're giving up our freedom on a level that is beyond imagination. And I think that would be the most dangerous thing for the freedom of every human being on earth. Yeah, and also I think that facial recognition can be connected to digital IDs, because if everything is digital, everything is with IoT. You grab a facial recognition, you connect it to a digital ID, you connect it to this, to that, to the latest social media post, to the latest search. Like, you have so much data, you have so much information. You connect it to the microphones, you can hear people's conversations in the street maybe, or at home in your smart home. So like, this level of surveillance can become absolutely horrendous, like absolutely insane, like beyond imagination. And to the point where if we have no privacy, if we have no private life anymore and everything we do is exposed 24/7, wow, are we even human anymore? And personally, I think we're giving up our humanity if we live that way. It's like we're being stripped, we're being violated 24/7. And so is that worth security? Is that worth their fake health? You know what I mean? Like, the whole pandemic thing was crazy. And that, actually, that's an event that pushed these digital IDs and CBDC's plans. And everything around health and the medical system, it's so off the actual health and well-being. And we're seeing that now with people doing yoga, meditation, eating healthy, herbal remedies. We're seeing how people are actually healing much better in so many situations, in so many cases, by living a natural lifestyle with sunlight, with nature. So a lot of great things are coming out of people healing naturally outside of their medical system. And maybe that system has its place, but it should not be imposed on people who choose to live differently. So if people don't want to get injected with whatever concoction, don't impose it on people. Don't pressure people to do something it's just off, it's wrong. You know you're wrong for doing that. If that's your science, then your science failed, buddy. Natural health is working, and I think a lot of people are going to be opted out of their system. They're going to be like, okay, we don't want to be part of your system. If you reject people that don't have your digital IDs, they can't make purchases, they can't be involved, be part of society, then I think a lot of people are going to leave, opt out, and create a parallel society, create something new, different, that's healthier, and that's not subjected to being an animal in a zoo, like a smart city with individuals with digital IDs using CBDCs that are fully tracked like slaves all the time. That's not healthy, it's not lit, it's not the wave, it's not the way. If anything, it's ridiculous. It's actually funny, it's like a comedy movie, it's like a bad dystopian movie, a really bad one. And we're in it? Nah, you can't be in that shit. So yeah, a lot of beauty, a lot of magic is coming out of people that are connecting with nature, with the soul, with spirit. And we're seeing a beautiful movement of people that are connecting with their inner wounds and working with their deep shadows, working with themselves from within, working with the plants, working with Gaia, with the earth, with the resonance of the earth, how that connects with our biorhythm, our circadian rhythm, grounding. And that's another video I want to do about grounding and how all these technologies that we're using, how there are solutions to deal with a lot of the electromagnetic radiations that have to do with grounding and connecting to the earth, creating a shield, an energetic field, which is like the ground in a circuit. And it bounces off all the excess positive ions. All the positive ions bounce straight off your body. And those positive ions, all the ions that are in Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, all these devices. But that's another topic for another time. If they actually succeed in implementing those plans, or if people say, no, we don't want that, and enough people say no, no thank you. And if they do push these plans, I think it's going to get very chaotic. I think we're going to see a lot of chaos in the world, and I think the authorities are going to get a lot of pushback, which is going to create a lot of friction all over the place, especially in cities where the population is very dense and people want to be free. Too much control is going to create a pushback, and we're going to see some stuff. Like, I don't know what's going to happen, but things are going to pop off. So that's why a lot of people are getting ready, and they're like, maybe, yeah, let's get the fuck out the city. Let's go into nature and connect with like-minded people, people who see through the veil of the matrix, because most people are in the matrix. They believe what they're told by the media, by the mainstream, and they're completely caught in that spell, in that big pharma, medical, the science type of world, which is a complete fabrication. It's not healthy. It's not connected to spirit. There's no divine, spiritual, light energy in that. It's very left brain control, control, control. So yeah, quick question. What are you gonna do if the digital IDs come? Are you gonna say, yes, let me get one? Or are you gonna say no? Are you gonna go off into nature saying, I'm out of the city? And if we say no, that means we're gonna be expelled out of the system, because if you need the digital ID for anything in society, whether it's to get food, it's to do this or to do that, and you don't have it, it means now you won't be accepted inside of their system, meaning that now we gotta operate in a new system that we create outside of their system. So I think that's gonna happen as well. We're gonna have two kind of worlds in parallel, building and developing, and we're entering some times. So if you're not in tune with what I'm saying, get in tune, watch my other video, watch my music, because I talk about it in my music too, Willpower Music. The website is willpowerstudios.com. Check out my music video, We Are Free Beings. And yeah, check out the work, check out the art that I make, that I create. I make products like Face, so support, like, share, and let's keep this conversation going and keep rising, because you are the one. This is Willpower. Peace.
Willpower Studios.